Good morning, Ms. Smith. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm all right. How are you?
Doing all right. Thank you very much for coming in today. Obviously, I know that this is a bit different. You probably expected to go to a law office, but obviously, quarantine and everything. I'm glad that you're okay with meeting via Zoom.
Of course.
But how was your morning?
Um, it's been busy, but it's well overall.
Excellent. Well, you know what? I don't want to keep you too long, so we'll try to fly through this as quickly as we can.
Okay.
Before we begin, I'd like to let you know that um, there is confidentiality between you and I. Kind of like if you go to a doctor and the doctor can't disclose any medical information without your permission, I can't do that either. So whatever you tell me, you can tell me in confidence and know that it's between you and I. And my job is to give you the best legal representation I can with what you tell me. So what brings you in today?
Um, I had an experience not too long ago, and I think I sent you the police report. Did you get that?
I did. I will say, Miss Smith, that unfortunately, I see this all the time. A lot of the officers, when these come in, it's very, very illegible. So it might be best if you and I walk through it together, and more so, not just get the officer's perspective, but your perspective as well.
Okay. So I think it was January 15th. Um, I had been drinking with some friends at my apartment. And that day I got some bad news that I got a C minus in one of my classes. I'm here at NIU in the graduate program for education. And so I was really upset that I didn't do too good on um, my grade in this class. And so that evening I drank with my friends. We just drank at my place. And the next morning, because all of my friends stayed the night, I wanted to go get everyone breakfast. And so I went to the McDonald's, I think off of Annie Glidden, or no, DeKalb or Lincoln Highway, my bad. And so I went to that McDonald's, and as I'm ordering, when I finished ordering, there was a man standing at my car and he had a gun. And I was so scared. I had no idea what to do. And then it was a police officer, I realized. And pretty much he just told me to get out of the car. He had me put my hands above my head and stand at the hood of my car. I was really frightened. Um, I didn't know what to do the whole time, or I especially didn't know why why the officer was doing that. And then he also checked my car, and then eventually he said I was free to go. But that's pretty much the reason that I contacted you. It was just a really frightening experience, and I don't really know what to do about it. And so I figured I needed some help from an attorney.
Got you. So what is it that you're seeking here?
Um, I don't want to go to jail. And the officer found, he says, open containers of alcohol in my car. I don't think that I had any like open, like actual containers of alcohol, but I do remember that morning before I went to the McDonald's, I grabbed the recycling bin that I had from my apartment to take out to the trash, and I had that in my car. So that might be what he was referring to. So basically, I'm terrified of going to jail if I get in trouble with that. And I don't understand why I was pulled over in the first place. And then I'm kind of wondering if I can actually get charged with a DUI for that.
All right. Well, you know what? I think this is definitely something that I think I have a couple questions with this, and just keep in mind anything you tell me is between you and I. And the reason I ask these questions is I want to get as much information as I possibly can in order to prepare the best case for you. Now, you said that the night before you were drinking.
Yeah.
At what time would you say you guys stopped drinking at?
Well, I know we started drinking around 5 p.m. But honestly, I don't really, I had a lot to drink. I think it was mostly wine and beer. And I don't really remember anything after 11 p.m. So I might have stopped drinking after 11 or at 11. But I can't really honestly say when I stopped drinking.
Gotcha. Now, your friends that you were with, do you know if they continued to drink after you were done drinking?
I'm not for sure because I just kind of forget everything, but they might have continued drinking. I can't say.
No, and that's totally okay. Um, Now, the next morning, I do have to ask this. The next morning, when you were driving to the McDonald's, were you still feeling tipsy or a little drunk, or
Um, I yeah, I really was hesitant on telling you, but I do think that I might have still been drunk that when I woke up and was driving to the McDonald's. And so
okay?
I was really scared whenever I saw the officer, especially because that was running through my mind.
You know, and there's nothing to be ashamed about here. This is a safe place between you and I. Um, I'm just happy. I just want to know, exactly what happened. There's no judgment here, judgment-free zone. So you are totally okay.
Okay.
Um, Let me see here on Lincoln Highway. Um, so when you pulled into the McDonald's, when you were pulled over by when the officer was outside of your car, was the vehicle moving or were you parked?
I was parked.
You were parked. Okay. Um, what exactly did the officer say to you, if you remember, when he approached your vehicle?
Yeah, he told me to get out of the car. I just saw that he had a gun in his hand and he was standing literally right next to my window. And so he asked me, or well, he told me, not asked me, to get out of my car and put my hands on my head. And then he had me against the hood of my car. Um, and then that's after he handcuffed me. That's when he searched my car.
And after this, he didn't retain you. He just gave you a ticket and let you go.
Yeah, he ended up putting me in his car before he started to search my car. And something that I thought was interesting is that it was a Ford Explorer that the cop was driving. And as I got into the vehicle, so that way because he put me in there for, I guess, safety reasons, I'm not for sure. And then he went and took pictures of my car and searched it. Um, I noticed that it was a Ford Explorer and the lights, like, normal um, police cars have the lights on the outside of the car. There were lights on the inside of this car, not on the outside. And I thought that was interesting.
Did you happen to ask the officer for his badge number or anything like that?
No, I was too traumatized.
Not that's totally understandable. Obviously, what you went through was a very scary experience.
Mhm,
Um, so I know that you also sent me a picture,
mhm.
and the two pictures you sent me was can you tell me what was that 750 milliliter bottle?
Yes. I don't know what type, but that was a bottle of wine.
Okay, so that was a bottle of wine, and then um, the other photo you sent me was the bag. I'm assuming, is this the recycling that you were talking about?
Yes.
And that includes the bottle too?
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm seeing, Truly's La Croix. So that's what was that issue that he found in your car?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So after so you said that you were going to take, this was, these, these cans in this bottle in your car were for recycling?
Yeah, I don't know, I just figured I could take that out while so it wasn't in the apartment. And as I was leaving for McDonald's, I just grabbed it and threw it in the back of my back seat of my car. And then
Gotcha.
yeah, the officer, because he came back to me whenever I was sitting in his cop car, and he was asking me why I have open alcohol in my car. And I said, I don't have open alcohol in my car. And then that's when he started kind of being a jerk about it, and lifted up the bottle of wine, and it still to me didn't look like I had anything in the bottle of wine, but um he ended up giving me a ticket um after he found that.
Right. And it looks like most of these all these containers were empty as well.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. So now I just have two more questions. You said you were with your friends at the McDonald's drive-through.
So I was by myself at the drive-through. All of my friends were still at my apartment asleep. I was just trying to get breakfast before they woke up. Um, I did end up having my friends meet me after the cop said I was free to go. I called my friends right away. They met me at the McDonald's, and one of my friends drove me back to my place, and then another friend ended up actually getting the food. But yeah, I was by myself during that entire encounter with the officer.
Now, at the McDonald's, was there anyone nearby that may have seen this, or like any staff or employees that you may remember?
Not that I can think of. I really just wasn't in the right headspace. So I mean, there might have been, I just wasn't paying attention.
And you know what? That's totally okay. We're slowly working through this. Let's see. And then my last question is, can you think of any reason that the officer may have suspected that you were drinking, or asked you to get out of your car? Any reason that you can think of that may have been suspicious? And it's totally okay, no judgment. I just need to know, that way I can prepare for whatever may be brought against you.
I mean, I can't think of anything. I was confused as to why I got pulled over in the first place. I think I did forget to mention that he did ask me. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, he did ask me why I didn't pull over whenever he was at my window. I forgot to tell you that. He he said I guess he was trying to pull me over, and that's why he had confronted me at the McDonald's drive-through. But I had no idea what he was talking about. I think I might have noticed someone like kind of tailing me as I was driving to the McDonald's, but I mean, I had sunglasses on. It was really sunny. Um, and again, I just kind of felt, I was just tired, and I didn't notice anything specific about who was behind me, and I guess that might have been him, but I still don't know why he would have been pulling me over.
Now, Ms. Smith, it's because I see on the ticket, it mentions that eluding, so which means that evasion. So I think he, on the ticket, do you think there was a chance that maybe it was the officer that was trying to pull you over for, and you just didn't notice?
Yeah, I think that might be what it's referring to. But I just think that's crazy. I didn't hear any police sirens. I didn't see any lights. And so that's why I didn't know that I was being pulled over.
Okay. And that's actually a very important detail, because you're not expected to pull over without sirens or lights. And if, as you say, the lights are inside the car, who knows? But um, I think that's a lot of what I have. But, if you would like to proceed forward, there's definitely some things that I would need. I maybe need to talk to a couple of your friends, who were drinking with you the night before, just to testify, or at least tell me about your condition, how you were. Um, I will likely have to get in contact with that McDonald's, see if they have any security footage, or any cameras of their parking lot. Most drive-throughs have cameras over their drive-throughs,
Mhm.
in order, and that's mostly there for theft and all that, but they do keep recordings. So I'll definitely get in contact with that McDonald's. But I think we could definitely do something here. One of my main concerns is, you cannot be searched, and your vehicle can't be searched unless the officer has reasonable suspicion. Now, maybe that would exist if, let's say you were drunk and he did have his lights on. However, from what you're telling me, I think there's a chance that he didn't properly pull you over, and he may have not had that reasonable suspicion. So that's definitely something I want to look into for you.
Okay. Real quick, um, I just really don't want my parents or anyone to find out about this because, they pay for my graduate education here at NIU, and I could not have them find out about this incident and or even get kicked out of school. I don't know what the repercussions of this would be if something
No,
bad happened.
I totally understand that, Miss Smith. I will say this. Yes, I cannot say anything, and I will not say anything to your parents without your permission. I cannot do that. You are protected under the attorney-client privilege. I will say though, depending on where this goes, it may not be a bad idea for you to consider talking to your parents about it in the future. But at the end of the day, that's your choice entirely.
Okay.
Um, if you think it's best for you, you know what? It you have to do what's best for you. But when it comes to your decisions in that regard, I have no say.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. So my advice to you right now is to talk to a couple of your friends. Let them know that I will, if you can, if they are willing to uh, give a deposition or or write an affidavit, that would be great. Especially friends that, if you have any friends that were drinking after after you fell asleep, or any friends that were awake in the morning, those would be great people for me to talk to. Um, and in the meantime, I do have to bring this up. I know it's the part of the conversation no one's a fan of, but I do have to mention my fees. So this initial interview, you're not getting charged for it, so don't worry about that. However, once I start doing work on this case, I will be billing 250 hourly,
Okay.
but I will try to limit that in the most efficient way possible. Um, do you have any questions for me?
I think I expressed all the questions. So I think from here I can just let you do what you do, and I can be here to help whenever you need anything else.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will also need, if you can send it to me, is any driving information that you have. So your driving history. I basically want to, have you ever had any prior accidents or any?
Um, I haven't had an accident, but I did have an incident whenever I was 21. I got in trouble with the police from an incident when I was 21.
Okay, you know do you want to tell me about that a little bit?
Yeah, I was really drunk, and I had been driving my car. And I got pulled over from the police. But I was really scared and I actually ended up fleeing. I kind of ran away. And so I was charged with fleeing and eluding. And I pled guilty to that and paid a fine, but they weren't able to actually charge me with a DUI because I had fled. And no one knows about this, not my parents, not my friends, not anybody.
So you were not charged with the DUI, but fleeing and eluding.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really embarrassed about that. And so literally no one knows.
You know what? This is not the place to be embarrassed. You're totally okay. All right. Like I said, no judgment here. I will probably need any records you have from that charge, just in case, because we do have another eluding charge here, and I just want to make sure that we keep that out,
Okay.
because there is a rule that you past crimes or past instances that are very similar can't necessarily be used against you to convince a jury or whatever that you did it this time. So I want to make sure that I have all the facts, and I keep that. I do the best that I can to keep that from getting to the jury.
Okay.
But I think we have a lot to work with here. Before I end the session, do you have anything else you wish to tell me or any questions?
No, I think that covers it all.
All right. Well, Miss Smith, thank you very much for coming in. I know it's very hard to, talk to a lawyer. I know it's very intimidating, especially about, admitting to things that, you're not necessarily the most proud of in the past. But you know what? I appreciate your honesty today, and I thank you very much for coming in. And we will keep in contact. Do you have my contact information?
Yes, I believe I have your phone number and email, and so I can just email you if I have any questions.
Excellent. Since it is Friday, what I will try to do is I will send this over. I'm going to be talking to a couple people in my firm, making sure that we're on track with everything,
Mhm.
and I will get back to you on how does Tuesday the 9th sound.
That's perfect.
Excellent. All right. Well, Miss Smith, you have a great day. Unless you have any more questions.
Nope.
All right. Well, if you're driving today, please drive safe. The roads are rough. So, all
Okay, will do. I hope you have
right.
a good day.
You as well.
All right.